G'day, my name is Mick Stallone from Sydney Hi-Fi in Mona Vale. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about centre speakers, an important part of any home theatre system, be it a 5.1 right through to 7.4.2 Atmos systems. The centre speaker is often selected based on its size or its colour, based on where it's going to be placed in that theatre system, if it's going to be under a TV or in a cabinet, or possibly even in the ceiling. A lot of people don't necessarily think about the role the centre actually has to play in a 5.1 system. With so many options available in terms of sizes, from small centre speakers like the one I'm holding in my hand over here, right through to larger centre speakers like the one that is placed in our demonstration room from Cricks. The centre's role obviously is predominantly for a lot of dialogue. A lot of people will notice that information, especially vocals, is quite centred when watching a movie, and this is definitely the case. However, what a lot of people don't realise is that the centre speaker itself is actually doing about 60% of the work of the entire home theatre system. That being said, you start to realise the importance the centre actually has. So it's not just giving us that vocal centre channel. What it's doing is actually imaging constantly between the left and the right speakers. So whatever we're hearing that might be coming from the far left to the far right of a theatre system, the centre speaker is actually doing something to make that happen. It's imaging and creating the information that allows the sound to sound like it's positioned perfectly in front of the picture that you are seeing on the screen. When you think about the necessity of a centre speaker and you think about the vocal information, the more depth the centre speaker has, the better it can reproduce that mid-range and low mid-range frequencies, then the better and more natural vocals are going to sound. If anything, when creating a home theatre system, a lot of people will spend a fair bit of time on the front speakers. Obviously they do play a significant part of the home theatre system. A lot of the times, if it's a music orientated system, we definitely do look at what the left and right speakers are doing and where their positioning is and what the frequency range is. But in a theatre system, it actually isn't that important. Because there is normally a subwoofer in that system, we're able to create the low frequencies that we need to create a good experience. And if anything, if I was working towards a budget, I would possibly put more money and time in selecting a good centre speaker and pairing that up with smaller bookshelf or stand mount speakers for left and right, and then providing a decent subwoofer to create the required frequency response. That is still going to give us a really good balanced system. Where we go wrong is where we overthink the left and right fronts, put in a centre speaker based on its size, or position that centre speaker at a point where it's actually not even allowing the information to hit the viewers or the audience in the head. Many centre speakers are placed on the floor or placed in cabinets, and that information is going towards your feet. So a lot of what is needed actually isn't getting to where it's meant to go. So the right positioning is also important. Try to raise a centre speaker as high as you can, close to a screen. Ideally in a home theatre system, you'd actually have a transparent screen and have the centre speaker behind the screen, so it's perfectly aligned with the heads. Also try and make that centre speaker as big as you possibly can and give that centre speaker as much range as it possibly can. So the better the mid and low mid frequencies, the fuller, the more depth, the more natural vocals are going to sound, and the better it's going to image with the left and right speakers. And also, if you do have to go with a small centre speaker, not the end of the world. What you can actually do is have a dedicated subwoofer that is linked to the centre speaker. We do that with a speaker bypass. So the information goes through the sub into the centre, and that then creates a lot of that lower frequency which the smaller centre just can't reproduce. So that's a little bit on centres. We'll have more information coming shortly. Cheers.